And I mean, I've been on a couple of your courses. You are phenomenal. So yes, I think that's really, really important. Okay. We're rooting for you for better. We're rooting for you. Okay.
In advance.
Yes, just before during the break, we had one of your flyers up. What's happening with that? What's that about?
So it's one of my products. It's something I do every month.
There it is. Okay.
I just have women. So most people would say, you know what, summer's on, spring is coming. I feel like I need a detox. I feel like, you know, I've gone off my plan or A game. So it's just a detox. So usually most of the problems are usually very cellular. So I usually just encourage people, if you want to restart, kickstart your journey, just do a cellular detox. It does make a lot of difference. It just helps you get into that path again. So it's something I put out every month, and yeah, it's quite interesting and it's quite beneficial as well.
Okay, when we get to the end of the show, if you just give us the details as to how we can get a hold of that, how our listeners can contact you, that would be great. Okay, so this one's for Dr. Izzy. You said doctorize is your passion. How important do you think passion is in business?
So I think personally, because I would still call myself a baby businesswoman. So I think passion for me is what keeps me going. Because it's not all going to be, you know, blue skies and stars and rosy, and you know how you have the dream in your head, how you're going to do this and do that. It doesn't always manifest that way. But because you have a vision, because it's something that you are passionate about, because it's your baby, like Michelle said, it's something you love, it's something that you would do for free if you did not get paid. That's what makes you show up every day. You know, and it's so key, because you don't want to. So for me, sometimes a job is what pays the bills, but your baby, your business, your passion is what makes you get up every day. You know, even if you have one like, you still show up the next day. Even if, you know, you put out whatever and it doesn't get the response that you're expecting, you still continue to do it, because you're doing it with the belief that one day the response that you're expecting, there's a fire in me that's going to do it, because you're doing it with the belief that one day that fire that just continues to give energy and give you life, that the belief that one day from then onwards is going to give them that you're going to give life, that
yeah, so true. I mean, for me, there's no substitute for passion, and people like to be around passionate people. The other day I went to a traditional wedding on Saturday, and there was this particular lady in the room, and she just exuded, I can't explain it. She was very passionate about what she was doing at this wedding, and people they just gravitated towards her. I just watched how they reacted towards her. If you carry that kind of energy into a business, half your marketing is done. Because people just want to be around people who have passion, who are passionate about something. I don't know if you know much about Anita Roddick. Anita Roddick started the Body Shop, and those who knew her said she was crazy. It was. There was no way she was going to fail, because she was so passionate about what she did. They said people used to avoid her at parties because she used to corner you. And once she corners you and starts talking about her vision for Body Shop, you were done for the night. She wouldn't let you go. So, passion is so important. Just like you said, passion drives. It is a force all by itself. It drives. It's what gets me up in the morning. I don't care if nobody else believes or sees in what I'm seeing or what I believe in. I'm getting up because passion is something that's intrinsic. It's not affected by external circumstances. It's intrinsic. Thank God for that. So just like you said, even when I failed and I failed spectacularly, I will get up next morning, because whatever it is that God has placed on the inside of me, man, it is burning. So I can't even sit there. I gotta get up. So yeah, that's quite important. Okay. Michelle, how do you balance family and business?
I don't.
You don't? All right.
I'll give you a bit and you know, and I really respect the women that do and they get it right, but I get it wrong. Literally. And because I know I'm going to get it wrong, I've spoken to both my husband and my daughter and my mum. She's always in it. I told them about it, so they know that the majority of my time I'm on entrepreneurial mode. So which means, like as I'm sitting here now, I have my on-air signing. that we don't even come in the room, don't even sniff around.
Don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it. So, but what I did agree with the family is that there's sometimes I'm going to be working longer than necessary, and sometimes I'll just not be doing any work. So they know now my routine. So like on Friday, I don't work on Friday, and so that's my time to chill, to go out. And so Friday, Saturday, Sunday is my chill time with the family. But that's as much balance as we have, because usually, and because of passion, I want to work more in my business. So although I don't have to work every hour, God sends, I enjoy it. Me, I can be up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, working on a document, because I'm just like, I love what I do. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask about balance. And so my daughter was like, oh mum, can you help me with this? And I'm like, oh no, in a minute. But then what I do eventually find time. I carve out time. But when it's her time, you can't get me to do anything. So if I'm committed to it, time with the family, that is it. But yeah, I'm still learning to get the balance.
I like the honesty. To be honest, I think it is very difficult to get the balance right. I think it's very, very difficult. Something has to give. You've only got 24 hours, so something will have to give. One of the ladies that we had on last week, she said something similar to what you said. She said, I can be on that phone, because she's a property magnet. She said, I can be on that phone all day long, and my kids are like, Mom, do you mind? We're trying to talk to you. So sometimes she just has to put the phone down and then go to them, but then she's still got one eye on the phone or something like that. So yeah, it's difficult to get it right, but I think one of the things that I encourage people to do is to bring your family along. Even when you're at the very start of the business, bring your family along. Let them know what it is that you plan to do. Let them know why you're doing what you're doing. If you're going to have to work extra hours, let them know why during this period Mummy might not be very attentive, but doesn't mean Mummy doesn't love you, and as soon as we get this done, because I think, especially when kids are young, they tend to take it personally. So you do have to be a bit careful with that. And then, of course, those of us who are married, you also have to keep an eye on the marriage, because I've known women who have lost their relationship because they're always working. I don't think that's success. I don't think that's success at all. So there are times that you will have to, let hubby know what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it, and if you can pick up the kids today, because I'm not going to be able to pick up the kids, and all that kind of thing. But then again, it's also important that you are a team, because I think it's easier if you see yourselves as a team, so that hubby doesn't begin to resent you and all that kind of thing. But yes, it is quite difficult to draw the balance. But yeah, we'll keep trying. Something I want to talk about is property. Now, I noticed both of you are into property. You're in property in Dubai, you're in property here, we're in property here as well. In fact, just like I'm on the show, I was keeping an eye on the clock because I was at an auction. So I was thinking, I hope they do my one before I come on the show. So yeah, try and hold all these balls together. But yeah, so I want to hear, what do you think? Why is property so important in wealth creation? Is it?
So for me personally, I don't, and this is something I'm learning as I'm growing. I realized that I'm not from like the financial, some people have studied finance, like money language really well. I would say that's me. I kind of like have just learned, because I'm really passionate about understanding wealth. Brick and mortar was easy to understand. It's pretty straightforward. There isn't really much language, and I know that regardless of what part of the world you're in, brick and mortar is always almost certain that you're heading in the right direction. So for me personally, I've seen people in my life, maybe not even family, friends, and people I've been connected with, just see them, buy plot of land, and then a couple of years later, it's a lot of money, build a house, and just that constant income that comes from it is what has propelled me into making sure that even if I'm, doing stocks or doing, my lifestyle, salary or work, that I'm pulling funds somewhere to make sure that when that fund is ready, going into brick and mortar, like that's just like the path where I feel like, it's certain, it works. If you're patient, if you're consistent, if you're disciplined, it does work. So, yeah.
I agree. Michelle, you're out in Dubai. How'd you get into that?
I've got a friend out there who he runs an agency out there, and we had given him some money so that we can co-invest, and we saw the return on our investment, and it was a small investment, and I just thought to myself, gosh, if I could afford to pay more, invest more, I definitely would. And then and that was like a few years back. But since then, the Dubai property market has expanded, it's growth, and because it's like almost like seen as the centre hub of the world in terms of easy commute to different countries and the expat industry, the tourism, it's just made business and commercial sense to not invest in another property in the UK, but use that money and invest in Dubai, and they have higher property return rates, and it's taxable as well, so that sounded good. So, and just give you an excuse about Dubai, and it's funny, it's just, I like Dubai than the UK, if I'm really honest. So it's made more sense to me, commercial sense in terms of the way to create generational wealth. And also because I just like this funny thing. So those are two fundamental reasons. And actually, as well, I managed to get my daughter work experience in one of the luxury real estate agencies out there, because my daughter wants to do real estate, and she does. So she's only 17, but she's ready. She goes to networking events, property investment events, but she got COVID just before. Like 2 days before her flight. So it was crushing, absolutely crushing. But you know what? I always say everything happens for a reason. We just don't know what was planned on the other side. But I think there's just more scope for UK investors out in Dubai, because the property markets are so good.
Yeah, I think I'm just like Izzy. Some of these new investments, nothing wrong with them, but I don't always understand them. But bricks and mortar, I'm no fashion girl. I need to see it and touch it. So that works for me. I want to encourage my listeners. Listen, I know that the property market is slowing in the UK, but this might actually be a good time for you to buy, honestly, because a lot of people, because money is tight, not everybody can buy, a lot of people are confused, a lot of people are hesitant. So for those of you who have the balls, this is actually a good time to go forward. It really is a good time to go forward. So I can't encourage you enough. So you heard it here. Okay, Michelle, your TED Talk. All right, so I watched your TED Talk, and I got to say, enough respect. Well done. It was really good. I want to ask, how has that talk enhanced your business, or has it enhanced your business? And if so, do you have any tips for those who might want to try to do one?
Yeah. So the first question is a very good question, because I think a lot of people think that doing a TEDx talk is going to propel them. It's not. It really, well, I can't say it really doesn't. You need to know how to leverage it. So you still have to do the work. It will not work by itself. So me just having a TEDx talk just on TED.com and just thinking I'm going to get business that way, it won't happen. I still have to market it. So effectively, there's still an engine behind it. So what I tend to do, when I do talk to corporates, now this is a good trick. Corporates love to have speakers who have done TEDx talks. So they will ask, so have you done any special talks? And I'll say, yeah, I've done a TEDx talk. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. Then I don't have a watch of it. And I notice on their marketing that they send internally, it always leads with Michelle, TEDx speaker, Michelle Raymond. So it definitely helps in corporate, they love it. And just in general, getting more speaking engagements, I think I can leverage the brand better. I don't leverage it as much as I should. And I think if I did it more for a personal, it was a personal journey for me. And even as having heard talks and seen it, you'll notice that it was less about I just want to be a speaker, I just want to talk about it. It was an occasion for me where I was able to face what I went through and give my perspective on it. So I had all these other personal reasons for doing it, And for me, I think it's one of the best things I've ever done. Just for me to be able to do that and to talk about it, because I do believe when crimes are committed, everybody is so quick to blame the perpetrator and the perpetrator's family, and think, oh, where was the wife, where's the mother, and we suffered. Me as a wife, I suffered dearly, just where I used to live, just how it was in the newspaper and how people treated me. I had people spit in my face. I had people throw bricks through my window in my house. And at this time we had separated and he was living elsewhere, but I still got attacked. So people don't see that and people don't know it unless people like me talk about it. So yes, it definitely was a personal thing. I enjoyed it. And any tips for anybody who wants to do it. Now I didn't apply. I was speaking to somebody and I told somebody about my personal story, and they said to me, oh my God, this would be great for a TEDx talk. But when I pitched it in TEDx, they didn't want it. And for another year, I'm always one of those ones waiting for a year. And it took a whole year later for them to come back to me and say they want it. You know what they said? They said the story is too disturbing to talk about. Yeah. And there was only one woman in the management team who wanted me, the rest of them didn't. And it seemed like God moved everyone out of the way. A whole year later, the woman came back to me. She said she's still there and everybody's left. Am I ready to do the talk? And I said, yeah, I'm ready. Wow. Yeah. So I think the best way to get TED Talks is definitely referrals, but you can also apply. And even when I look for some of my clients who want to get into TED Talks, we look at location. You can just find locations and just really understand what the feeling is, and you have to make sure that your talk applies to their feeling, so that you can't just do any talk; it has to relate to them.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the tips. Okay, ladies, last 10 minutes of the show, we do something called the book corner. And this is part of our education to up our financial literacy. So what I do is I usually pick a book that relates to business and finance and review it, or just teach a little bit from it. And of course this year, because I've just written a new book, Wealth Creation God's Way, we are currently reviewing my book. It's my show, so we're reviewing my book. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's in the book. I'm up to chapter 2. And then I want to get your input on some of the things that I say. All right, so chapter 2, we're looking at avenues for wealth creation, And one of the first avenues that I talk about is you can create wealth by being married. Create wealth by being married. And this, of course, is a biblical book. It's a book about wealth creation, but it's based on biblical principles. So everything that's in here practically came from the Bible. So one of the stories that I draw on in relation to being able to create wealth or becoming wealthy when you are married comes from the story of Abraham. And the Bible says that Abraham was rich because he went down to Egypt. At the time he was almost on the verge of starvation. He went down to Egypt with his wife, and his wife was really hot, and Pharaoh liked his wife. And the Bible says, and God showed Abraham, and Pharaoh showed Abraham kindness because of his wife Sarah. And I draw a lot from that because, just like the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. I often find that men who are financially successful often draw their strength from the women in their lives. I remember a friend of mine saying to me that she and her husband had a company, and she and her husband went to dinner with this Jewish millionaire and his wife, and they were just tapping his brains and asking him, so what is the secret of your wealth? And he said, she's sitting right here. She's sitting right here. What are your views on, do you think it's easier to grow wealth when you're married? Michelle, what are your thoughts?
if you marry the right man. That's what it comes out. If you marry the right man, yes. Or if you marry a man who has potential and has a growth mindset. So I think I definitely see this, and I've seen this with a number of people who they have married into a family where, and it comes down to mindset. They have a poverty mindset and a limited mindset. So even if they don't have the money, they don't know how to make money. They don't know how to keep the money, how to multiply the money. So I think it really depends on who you marry. My husband, I feel he married into it. I think he married into it. And my husband is Thai, yeah? And plus I think different cultures have different things. So in the Thai culture, it's not money is not big. They like to be very mediocre, and so that's so he will make money, and in the type of job he has, he makes a lot of money, but he's not so big on money. Whereas my mum brought me up to how can we make more money? How can we multiply the money? So we have two different perspectives on money, and so this is why we had to do a piece of work, like some money mastering mindset to get us on the same page. Because one person is on a different wavelength than you, it can cause discord. But we went on a joint program together, so we're now both on the same side of money.
Okay. Izzy, what do you think?
I think Michelle is really spot on. I think marriage can either break you financially or make you. If you do have someone, and it really comes down to mindset, really, because everybody can learn. I don't think everyone necessarily have to have, like, it's a good thing if everyone has a money mindset. You know, everyone's bringing 100% to the table. That's a good thing. But if you have one party bringing 100% and the other person not quite there, you know, that's not really a bad thing. But I think the worst thing would be if they're not willing to learn. And I think the worst thing is if they now begin to stand in your way.
Yeah.
So you know, people will be like, if I'm not doing it, then you're not doing it. You know, you can, you know. So I think that's even a bigger problem. So I think for people listening and for people who are not married, because you know, if you're married, you now have to navigate that space. And you know, Misha, that's a really good thing. You know, for a man to be willing to go on a course to up his mindset, that already speaks volumes of the kind of person that he is.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's really good. Because it's one thing to identify that, you know, my wife has got the game. My husband, yesterday we were having some tete-a-tete, and I said to him, so I need you to tell me 3 things that you love about me, and then I'll go. And then he was like, oh, not again. And I was like, tell me 3. And then he said, one of the things he said was, I like your go-getter mindset. Like anything you set your mind to do, you do it. And that's how I've always been, you know. And he saw that, you know, even as a young person, when I was really young, he knew that that's the kind of person that I was, and he'd fallen in love with that. He's not necessarily that kind of person. But he's not the kind of person who has ever stood in my way. He's so supportive. If I want to jump from Kilimanjaro, he's like, babe, how I would, you know, I will hold you at the bottom. What do you need to jump to help me? You know, so I think mindset makes a lot of difference. And if you're not married, make sure you understand what your money language is. You want to speak the same money language. You know, it's not enough to have butterflies in your stomach. You know, see how he relates with money. Money is a relationship. How does he give? How does he take? Does he pay his tithes? Does he help his family members? What does he do with the money that he has? You know, all of these things, you need to see them. You know, you need to see how he talks about money. You know, because being laid back will not pay the bills. You know, you've got mouths to feed. You've got generational wealth to build. You know, so you have to have these conversations, and I think it's really important because it makes the love sweet. Money makes love sweet. Not anything else. All that realistic person, it's a joke. When there is money, if you take me to Keynes now, I will come back a happier woman. So let's stop deceiving ourselves and pretending like as if no, I'm okay. No, 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 no. We need to all speak that language. And if you as a woman understand what money is, you understand what it means, your relationship with money, you can understand somebody else's relationship with money. So yeah, as young women, we need to. My 10-year-old will say, I want a guy who loves the Lord, has six-pack, and is loaded. Because you know what? I'm going to be loaded as well, but I want my children to be extra privileged. I'm like, well done, girl.
Okay, I must admit that went in slightly an unanticipated direction, but it was really good. I do want to just quickly say something. If there's anybody listening, and I think it's important, the show goes just beyond money and all that. We are human beings, and more importantly, I'm a woman of God, so these kind of things are quite important to me. But if there's anybody listening who is contemplating divorce, and I know divorce is everywhere right now, but I do want to caution you a bit. There's some research that shows that in the UK in particular, one of the poorest people groups are divorced women over 50. So relationships, your relationship status does actually have a bearing on your wealth, because by the time you split the assets and all those kind of things, it does have a bearing. So if you are in a difficult relationship and you're contemplating divorce, that is definitely something that you need to take into consideration. I'm not saying in an abusive relationship, that's not what I'm saying, but it is something you need to take into consideration. You know how men are, they swan off and they find someone else, but the women tend to become a statistic, so it's definitely something that you might want to think about. Okay, we're nearly there. We're nearly there, ladies. Where can we find you, Michelle? Where can we find you, and what are we finding you for? Oh yeah, there's something that you're doing in November. If Archie could kindly put it on there. Michelle's doing something in November. Yeah.
So in November, this is a big thing for me. It may not be for you, but it's definitely a big thing for me. So I'm organising and hosting my very first corporate event. Because I do lots of work around supplier diversity, I noticed that they stopped short in terms of using diverse suppliers. They're happy to get us in to talk about diversity, but in terms of their supply chain, they're still using the big white brands. And I'm here to help break that mold, because I think if you want to be a really truly diverse and inclusive organisation, it's a whole ecosystem. So the event is called the Diversified Visibility Conference, and it's for people like us to raise our visibility and our market readiness so that we can sell our services into corporate market. So it could be corporate America, it could be corporate UK. So that there's more Black, Asian and women business owners who are on the supply chain. So I'm challenging them to rethink their procurement process, their tendering process, which is indirectly discriminatory against Black and Asian minorities. How it's written, how it's worded, all of that just makes it so much harder. And so I'm putting on this event in November to really push the barriers and get people like us there in front of some of these bigger brands that have an appetite to work with diverse business owners. And let's secure some contracts next year, some big lucrative contracts, not the 1,000, the 3,000 or 4,000. I'm talking about, and there's contracts between for 145,000, 250,000, which means we have to come and work together to tender for some of these contracts. So yeah, that's what the event is about. Really excited. I've got the venue sorted. I've got a headline sponsor. I've got Lloyd's Bank as the headline sponsor for that. It's amazing. And I'm trying to work on some other sponsors, and then I'm going to be selling tickets. So hold the date. 10th of November, it's going to be in central London, in Bishopsgate. Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And you'll find me, the best thing to do is to follow me on my socials, predominantly LinkedIn and Instagram, under Michelle Raymond, and I'll be updating as I go along.
Okay. Well done you, girl. Well done you. Something you said that I think is really important. I mean, even whilst both of you are speaking today, I'm thinking, okay, how can these ladies collaborate? How can they collaborate? Listen, the day of each one doing it to death on their own, that day is gone, ladies and gentlemen. That day is gone. You have got to learn to collaborate. Not everybody is a thief. Not everybody is unreliable. Some people have integrity. Look for a group of people who have integrity. I'm telling you, if people didn't have integrity, they would not be on my show. I don't have anyone that has a question mark over their character on my show. So, yeah, we've got to start thinking collaboration so that we can get together and start bidding for the big things. Start bidding for the big things.
Yeah, we've got to do that, and I think more of us. We'll definitely connect to Izzy as well, because I just want to know more about what you do. So if I hear about opportunities, I can send it away to you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely coming for your program in November, 100%. Well done.
Michelle, I'll send my account details.
Yes.
I'm actually collecting
Oh dear. Dr. Izzy, where can we find you?
So www.dreezy.com. So it's DOCTORIZIE, one word.com. And I'm on Instagram as Dr. Izzy as well. I'm on Facebook. I'm on everywhere. I think that's it.
I gotta say, I find when I watch you on Instagram, I'm like, this woman is not human. I'm sorry. This woman's not. Michelle, you've got to go and see her. If she's not lifting some weight, when I'm going to say weight, I mean weight. I'm not talking about those big dumbbells. I'm talking about weight. If she's not, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I sit there like this. I'm like, oh my god, is she for real? Is she for real? Honestly, I don't know how you do it, but yeah. Guys, go and check her out. Go and check her out on Instagram. That's Dr. Izzy. Dr. Izzy. You will be amazed at what she's doing over there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to the BB Means Business show once again. Listen, if you haven't got this book, and here's a subtle hint to my guests, if you haven't got this book, this is a good time for you to visit my website, www.bbclement.com/shop, and get yourself that book. It's £15 plus package and postage. Filled with tips and advice as to how you can biblically sound advice to how you can create wealth God's way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again. I will be here same time next week, and have a great week, and go and make some money. See you next week.
Take care.
Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you, Michelle.
You too, definitely.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.